Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another Sunday Cinema where we're watching Glory. There,
Yay!
you know, with me I got PvP, who is obviously excited for this movie.
Oh, I love
And
this film so much, Skrilla. It's one of probably my favorite war film of all time.
all right, then we also got Mikey.
Who's muted at the moment, it
Yeah,
appears.
yeah. How are you doing, PvP?
I'm doing okay. I'm just my supper's just about cooked in the oven, so I might end up muting for a while I eat my supper because I do need to have some food. So,
Yeah.
but
Whoa, that's a heavy
we're going to be
fan.
watching the film anyway, I guess. So I'll probably just if I'm silent for a bit, that'll be okay. So.
Yeah, I gotta go pull mine off the grill here pretty soon too. I
Hey, I just want to.
mistimed everything today.
Hey,
Yeah, I thought I'd have it cooked by now, but I fell
hey, what's
behind a
up,
little bit.
Resolute?
So,
PvP?
what? What's that, Mikey?
Oh no, no, just saying. Hello, Jern.
Oh,
Hello, PvP, and
Yeah, hey
hello,
Germ.
Gorilla.
hi everybody. Hi,
How's it
Mikey and
going?
Germ.
Oh, I'm ready for bed.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Man, I
Mike-
can imagine they put you with a horde of kids and they don't allow you to have any alcohol or cigarettes.
Right.
No, that's what I
Look
heard.
how- that's so torturous, man. 16 damn kids. Ugh.
It's like
Cub
seven.
Scouts.
Yeah. Hey, Mikey, do you got a fan oscillating?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I'll turn that off.
So I
I don't want
guess
you to get overheated. That it's just every time it flows towards it hits your mic, you can just hear like you're in a wind tunnel.
I know. It's cool. I feel like one of those cars that goes through wind tunnels and to test their veracity or something like that. I
Yeah.
mean, like going. Unless it feels like that.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, PvP. Just a quick question. So, were you okay after our last stream we did on Indie and Flash?
Oh yeah, I was
he had
fine.
I noticed he had disappeared, and I was worried about you. I didn't know what
No,
happened.
I probably had one too many drinks, like I do tend to do too
Yeah.
often, unfortunately. So I probably just decided to leave and get some sleep. And silly me, as I don't, sometimes do, I probably forgot to leave the stream. I probably just left it running.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. No, I was fine.
Oh, yeah, no, no. Yeah,
I got up
no,
the next
no,
morning
no
and
worry.
everything was
I
good.
just,
But
All right.
no, thanks for
Yeah.
asking, though. I'd appreciate it.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Okay.
though, I'm
No
still
problem.
alive. So
And welcome Hakeem. There. Yeah, I got the Cosby link up there for you if you want to watch along. We also had Daniels was here super early. Welcome, Daniels. There.
yeah, Daniel,
Oh, hey.
you should watch it if you haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Hi,
So
Keem.
let's go ahead. Everybody in the Cosby room.
I've got it. Let me pull it up here. I've got the website. Oh yeah, I think I've got it here. It looks like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can
I was gonna say
Yeah,
we
zebra.
should be we should be even here in the sparring match. Two Canadians and two Americans here, but right now the Americans outnumber the Canadians here.
I just
And
wanted to
that's
ask before we start watching the film, Gorilla. I want to ask how many of you guys have actually seen this film? I'm curious.
First time.
Oh,
Maybe a
Yes, it's,
decade or two ago.
decade. Okay. And Mikey, have you not seen it?
yeah, I saw it, but this movie came out in 1989,
It's
so
been a while.
it has been a while. I did
Yeah.
learn a little known fact. My wonderful wife Suzanne, who's a wealth of knowledge, she said that, and then we found out together. This was the movie that Matthew Broderick did less than 2 years after he needlessly or accidentally, if you want to go by whatever account he offered, two Irish ladies up in Northern Ireland back in July of 1987. He would have been found guilty of vehicular manslaughter, but
Oh
because they
shit.
thought but because it was an accident, well, that's how the authorities, I guess, determined it. So he got a
Never
slap
heard
on the
about
wrist
that.
and a fine. And at the
Wow.
time, he was dating, yeah, And at the time, he was dating Jennifer Grey, his partner when they did Ferris Bueller's Day Off. And then who else also was doing Dirty Dancing with Mr. Patrick Swayze.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's what we know
Yeah.
about
So, what
Matthew.
were the
This is the
circumstances of the accident, Mikey? Like, was he impaired, or was it just bad
well,
luck,
they
or?
don't. Yeah, to this day, they still don't know if he was impaired or if he
Uh,
just didn't understand the rules of the road. I'm tending toward the latter, and I think he didn't understand. But
so, well,
anyway,
do they
he
drive? Do they drive on the other side of the road in Ireland? I'm not sure. I know they do in England, but
well, yeah, in England and Ireland and Scotland, according to what my parents have said, because they've been there, they drive on the other side of the road. So yeah,
so was he maybe on the wrong side if he didn't know
I,
the rules?
I honestly don't know. All I understand from the stories that he swerved into the lane with his
Oh
two ladies.
God.
It was a 65-year-old lady, and he killed
Ooh.
them both. And like I
Boy, that
said,
cuts home
needlessly.
because I can relate to that number.
All right.
All too
Yeah,
closely.
well, it was just an
Yeah.
interesting. It's just an interesting fact that we found
Yeah.
out. Well, we knew this way back. I think it was in the news and everything. But yeah, he got a slap on the wrist. He got fined,
Wow.
um, for
Gee,
involuntary. But
that's really
you know,
sad. Gosh.
yeah, it was really sad, and that's why I was so intrigued to find out how he was able to get this role with glory because he had been so should we say he had been on hiatus and after the accident didn't talk much,
Yeah.
didn't say much to anyone. He did contribute to the families of the
Oh,
ladies that
that's at
died.
least that. Yeah, at least that's a little bit, a little bit of class to try and make up for
Mm,
such a
yeah,
tragic thing,
Yeah.
right? So, yeah.
yeah, I
All right.
remember him doing that, but that was about it. So that's
Yeah.
By the
that
way,
story.
you mentioned some of his previous work, like Ferris Bueller or whatever, and I never considered Matthew Broderick. Like, I always thought of him as a lightweight, as like a comedic, kind of lightweight guy as far as acting, in
That
his
would be
early
accurate.
stuff, you know. But when I saw him in this as Shaw, it totally my opinion of him as an actor totally flipped 100%, on its head. It was like he was so good in this movie. Like, he's so good in a serious dramatic role that I was like
Uh,
so impressed. I was like, wow, this guy really actually can act when he wants to actually, when he's got a really good solid script and he really wants to put his mind to it. He can
there is a
actually be
good
a
reason he
very,
never tried it again.
yeah, well, that's
Yeah,
sad. I wish he
Yeah.
had, because he had the stuff. He could have been one of the
Uh,
great actors if he'd really worked hard at it. Well, it's like Tom
yeah.
Hanks, right? You guys remember Tom Hanks' early stuff, like Joe and the Volcano or whatever the hell it was? I mean, he did a
Yeah,
I
lot of crap,
the
I
good
thought.
ones.
Yeah.
yeah
Early
I
on,
Anything
though.
that
remember.
was Forrest Gump and he
All
becomes
right.
an Oscar whore.
All right.
I
Yeah. All right.
But
Uh,
seriously, it's
remember
like Tom Hanks, right?
bachelor
It's early
party. What
stuff
is
I
it?
Yeah,
didn't
Bachelor
like.
we
And
party.
we
yeah,
really
let's
should get
let's
on with
let
this
her roll.
movie
Let
because it
her
is
roll,
two
Gorilla.
hours.
Yeah, I'm
yeah.
Let her
sorry. Yeah,
roll.
Yeah.
let's get started.
Let's get this started here.
Yeah, I've
Okay, let's go
sidetracked
watch
enough. Yeah.
Cosme
Yeah, let's. Oh,
here.
by the way, is it James
Yeah,
Horner?
no,
I
that's
think
all
does
right.
the musical score.
Okay,
I don't
I
know
watch
who
believe it.
does the
Cosme.
music.
I think it's James Horner. I'll just Google it.
Yeah. Okay, it's running
Because the
right now.
musical score is amazing.
TriStar was always pretty good.
Yeah,
Hey, you got a
Yeah,
lot of
certainly
people
got
TriStar
joining
usually
here,
has
thought
that.
of by
Gorilla.
whoever did.
Oh,
Yeah.
there it is. He was the son of wealthy
Yeah,
Boston
James Horner.
abolitionists. He was 23 years old when he enlisted to fight in the war between states. He wrote home regularly, telling his parents of life in the gathering army of the Potomac. These letters are collected in the Houghton Library of Harvard University. So it is
So it's
based
based
on
on a true
his
story.
recollections.
Oh yeah, totally
Oh
true
yeah, his
story.
recollections. Yeah, Robert
Uh,
Gould. Yeah.
sort of true story,
Yeah.
but
Uh,
you're going
Well,
off of Shaw's
Yeah.
original embellishment and
Yeah.
then TriStar's embellishment on top of that.
Yeah. Okay. Highkeep says I saw it 10 years ago. I remember some of it, but forgot a lot of parts. Well, we can rewatch it there. And welcome, Jim's Landscaping LLC. Welcome.
here's James Horner's musical score right from the start. It grabs you by the heart and just tugs at it. I think this is one of the most beautiful musical scores of all time.
I know
James
my heart's
Horner,
been tugged at enough today with
all
with
those damn, all those damn kids.
no. I peeled out of there in a fast hurry after we got everything taken down. No, I watched the sound of freedom today.
Oh, okay. That's supposed to be pretty good, if I've heard.
Oh, it's damn good. Movie of the year.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard
Yeah.
a lot of good things about it. I
Yeah,
tell you
I'm
though,
seeing that
Glory,
on
man,
Tuesday.
I don't know how accurate these battle scenes are, but to me, as an ignorant Canadian, they feel pretty damn accurate.
Okay.
Even though I don't know enough about the Civil War, but it looks pretty authentic to me.
Yeah.
They're
Now,
accurate
according
enough for movie
to
purposes.
yeah,
Shaw's
yeah,
narration
according
in the film was
to
pretty cool too.
Are those flags even right? Those look like they have 50
flag.
states on them. Some of those flags look like they had 50 states on them.
Weren't there?
No, that
There was
can't be
pretty much.
right.
At the
No.
time, no, there wasn't.
Well,
No,
I don't
there's
have to.
30.
I don't have time to count the stars on the flags actually, because
No,
I
they
don't
just
think we
look.
see them.
They look like the modern day ones, but no, there should be 32 stars.
No, there probably are. I mean, I don't think they could get. I mean, I don't think they get the uniforms and everything so good if they screwed up on the flags, right? Like,
Well,
I
some
think
people
that.
might not pay attention to
Yeah.
those kind of details.
Well, I always thought this film felt pretty authentic. I mean, I don't know enough about the Civil War, as I say, but it had that feeling to me, like you are there kind of film, right?
Yeah, it's as authentic as Hollywood really gets. Which
Oh yeah.
probably tops out about 65-70% accurate.
Well, still, I mean, I can't imagine Hollywood cranking out a film this good nowadays. I'd be like, nope.
Hey, 2 days ago, or 5 days ago, so you gotta watch The Sound of Freedom.
Yeah, it's doing well when AMC starts yanking it from the suburbs.
What?
Yeah.
Sound of Freedom?
It was in my local AMC up until Friday, and then all of a sudden, yesterday, it disappeared.
Yeah, now this is Antietam back in September 1862. This was supposed to be one of the bloodiest battles in the Civil War, the entire Civil War.
And they don't pull any punches on the battle scenes in this film. There's some very bloody, gory stuff coming up here. I can't imagine fighting a war like this. Lining up to be shot down.
Well, at the time, they didn't really understand how the
Well, I
middle
guess
balls worked.
guess it was considered honorable back in those days, I guess.
Hey, Mikey. Antietam wasn't one of the deadlier. Well, I suppose 30,000 or 22,000. Maybe it was.
Yeah, they never really understood the revolution in armaments they had made over the last decade or so. They had space of revolvers.
That's what I'm talking about right there. It's like gore.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was a bloody slaughter, really.
I think Shaw is getting an early form of PTSD.
Well, they haven't even come up with the name of it yet.
Oh, they always had some sort of name for it. Around this time, it was Streak of Yellow, Cowardice.
Oh my gosh. These battle scenes are so intense. I love it.
World War One is called Shell Shock. I know that.
Yeah.
Ugh.
The World War II it turned to battle fatigue. Then Korea, operational exhaustion. Then Vietnam they came up with PST or PTSD.
Yeah, they've always had. Seems every war they've come up with a different term for basically the same thing, right? It's basically just traumatized soldiers.
Around this time, it was just called Cowardice.
Yeah, it was pretty harsh times.
Oh yeah. Well, Antietam, like I said, that was the bloodiest battle of the entire Civil War. A lot more people died in that one day, or a couple days there in Antietam, than any other battle since. So
Well, I guess.
this
Gettysburg.
wasn't.
Gettysburg
Yeah,
had twice as many.
Oh, here we go. Here's one of our great
there's
supporting
Morgan
cast.
Freeman. Yeah,
Yeah, it was
Oh, it has
awesome.
Morgan Freeman,
Oh
and I
yeah, it's
has
got
haven't seen
Morgan
this.
Freeman. Yeah,
Morgan Freeman, Denzel Washington, who won a Academy Award as the Best Supporting Actor. Oh yeah, it's got a
yeah.
really good cast,
And
girl.
I
It's
haven't
really.
seen this. What the
I
fuck?
And
don't.
you haven't
I'm
seen this.
amazed. I'm amazed because it's a
Uh,
great film.
I might have to kick my own ass.
You should actually
Uh,
probably watch it again, just on your own after we finish this tonight. Because since we're all yakking away, it might be better just to actually sit down one night and. Because oh man, listen to that music.
oh, it's
Oh,
beautiful.
It's
I love this
okay.
film.
It's not groundbreakingly good, but it's okay.
I just find it haunting. Very emotional to me. This score.
Uh, Basically, he led 100 men at Antietam to their deaths. He's probably one of the very few people left alive. Now he's going to be
Well,
thinking about it.
that's because he hit the ground. He just dropped to the ground and said "fuck," and just laid there like he was dead. He played dead.
But I kind of hopes that he should have, but he's still alive. He's just watching their cannon fire now going down on top of the Confederates.
Well, he does have a concussion and
It's yeah,
Oh
fairly
yes, he
serious wound
does.
to the ear.
yeah. I think he was probably basically
Yeah,
stunned and just kind of lost it for a while there while he was on the ground. Like now it's sinking in now as he's seeing all the pain and horror, how
yeah,
awful a battle it was for them, right? So
yeah.
especially as a
He's
commander, he's probably feeling very responsible on a certain level, right?
Yeah, right now he's back in Boston recovering from his wounds, but of course that ear problem of his won't heal.
Oh God. Hmm. There's this scene.
An illegal order
Well,
at the
actually,
time.
then the Emancipation Proclamation only freed the slaves that in rebelling states. So the border
Yeah,
states that still had slavery and stayed with the Union technically did not end it, but it just
yeah.
got adopted.
He tried to free slaves in a foreign independent nation. An illegal order, by all accounts.
It's only legal if you lose.
And then we're back in polite society. I love the contrast in this scene to what we just saw. And Shaw probably is totally getting it too. It's like, this is not the same world I was just in a few days ago.
Oh shoot! I forgot to check.
I wish Broderick, I wish he'd done more stuff like
Oh,
this. So damn,
oh,
he's
we
good in
lost
this film.
Mikey.
Oh no, did we?
Uh,
He's been having
Yeah,
internet problems lately, though. He'll be back, I'm sure.
yeah.
yeah. It looks like we got a fan film from Jim there. contradictions that go together for some reason. Oh, I suppose they didn't want any black leaders.
Up to a point, but they needed someone at the regimental level who could actually report to the generals.
Yeah.
And if need be, talk to guys like Lincoln. Because for all the stuff he gets, Lincoln did not like blacks. He was actually very racist himself.
Oh, and this fellow from Princess Bride. Everybody remember that film?
I
He
never
played.
watched it.
Oh, that's another great film you got to see. He
Welcome
played the
back, Mikey.
farm boy. What was his name? Carrie. Oh, I can never remember his last name. Carrie Ewells or something. Damn good actor. Didn't do as much, I don't think, as I would have liked him to have done, but he was a good actor.
I think he was in a few other things.
I'm
Oh,
sorry,
I'm sure he must have been. Yeah.
Wasn't he in Robin Hood Men in Tights as well?
Oh, yes. I think he was for sure. Yeah.
That would have torpedoed him.
Yeah.
The only
Was
one
that-
to really make it out of that was
I
Dave
think so.
Chappelle. 'cause he was
Yes, I
just
think he
starting out.
was. Yeah.
That was a Mel Brooks film, was it not?
It was I forget, it looked a lot like it, but it was god awful.
Yeah, I never appealed. I never wanted to see it, so. Let's see here.
Oh,
Looks like his internet went again.
oh, Mikey. Okay. All right. Yeah. Yeah, anything to get out of servitude, right?
Actually, I just looked up Carey's career. He's probably done about 70 films, actually. He's been actually very prolific over his life and a lot of TV stuff, too. So he's actually had a pretty extensive career if you want to look it up.
Yeah,
Okay.
but he sort of topped out with
Oh, I don't think he's
this and
done a
with
lot of
Robin Hood.
big type movies, but he's definitely, kept busy as a working actor, which, says something. I mean, any actor that can make a living, and let's face it, a lot of them don't, because they don't get that much work. But
I'd seen the actress. Oh, thank you for letting me back in, guys. I'm not sure why I'm going in and out on this thing with
Yeah, I
StreamYard.
don't know
internet
either.
stuff must be internet stuff, Mikey.
I
It
guess.
might be a busy time, 7 o'clock on a Sunday.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
that could
Oh,
slow my internet down once in a while too, for sure.
yeah.
Heavy
I was trying to
traffic.
recognize. Yeah, I was trying to recognize the actress who played Shaw's mom, his mother, the one behind him that was standing behind him when he met Frederick Douglass, which is a great role too for that guy who played him. Yeah, I was trying to remember the actress name.
Just a sec. No, type it in now.
I've seen her in stuff before. Huh. I bet I could find out.
Jane Alexander, maybe? Because that plays Sarah Blake Sturgis Shaw. Oh, we got a book nerd. He's either gonna rise up right in the ranks and survive, or he's gonna be one of the first ones dead.
Now, Thomas is one of those educated fellows, one of Shaw's friends, right? University
Yeah.
guy. So, yeah. Interesting character, though. I wonder if they actually hired any, of those Civil War reenactor, guys to be in this film, because some of the battle scenes, it's like it kind of feels like some of the guys in the battle scenes have been doing it for a while, like they have experience and they kind of know, you know,
Yeah.
have a feeling for the authenticity of it, so to speak.
Yeah.
They used a lot of reenactors. And hello,
Yeah.
Pop.
Had a feeling they
Hey,
did. Hey, Pop.
hey, Pop, how's it going?
They sort
Yeah,
of cut some corners using reenactors in as extras, and those were sort of the source material for any type of detail on any of the battles.
Yes.
Hey, Pop, are y'all settled in now?
Uh-oh. Did Mikey leave us again?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Ah.
Talk about young.
Oh, I tell you, Denzel Washington's character in this film is a hoot. Like he's got a real chip on his shoulder.
Pop
He's
says,
really good.
getting rest today. The move was very exhausting. Oh, I bet.
Oh, moving is
Settled
hell.
in, you asked me about food and stuff. Okay.
Yeah, I remember my last couple of moves. They were nightmares, to be honest.
Glad you at least got settled in.
But yeah, once it's over, that's when you can kind of relax a little bit, right? Takes a while to unpack, of course, though. Yeah, it says something about Denzel's character when he's even like, bugging a little kid like that, right? He's a very angry fellow early on. He does have a bit of a sense of humor, though.
Welcome back.
Hey, thank you.
Hey, Mikey.
I'm sorry I keep going in and out. That's great.
It's not your fault.
Great news, Pop. I'm glad that you're settled.
It's all stuff to unpack, but I haven't had much strength. Yeah, I know. Take it easy there, Pop. Don't overexert yourself there.
Yeah,
Long
take your
road.
time.
Please don't.
I remember my last
please
move.
don't.
I was unpacking stuff for weeks. It was a long unpack. I had so much crap.
Yeah, while I was away, I wanted to find out some things about the movie. For example, you guys were right. Carrie Elwes, who was his assistant in this film, was also in The Princess Bride as well as Robin Hood Men in Tights. So this is like his serious film for Carrie. Um, Also, they say, according to IMDb and some other sources, that this movie did fall far short of accuracy. Yes, they did fight in the Combahee expedition, they say later on. Yes, they did fight at Fort Wagner, and yes, Shaw became a colonel. But they went ahead and exaggerated a lot of the facts with the film. So if you see other things, yeah. But Denzel did win for Best Supporting Actor. This was his
Yeah,
best film, I think.
yeah, he was great in this movie. Actually, I think the
Yeah.
entire cast is awesome in this movie. I love this guy. The drill sergeant is hilariously great. He's so tough. I just love this guy. He's great.
Yeah.
He's like your class. I think he's supposed to be Irish, right? He's like an angry Irish dude.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Well,
Oh, this is
that's
so
not too
good.
good, Pop, but at least you got through it.
Yeah. Now,
The sergeant's not happy.
yeah. So Denzel plays Private Silas Trip. Morgan Freeman is Sergeant-Major John Rawlins. Yeah. Then you got Broderick. Then you got Elwes. You know, in the cast. He was
Oh God.
Jupiter Sharts. And then Andre Brower is Corporal Thomas Searles. He's Searles. Huh, that's interesting.
Oh my God.
Huh. Well, now that's interesting. Someone says it's historically accurate, and that's what the New York Times said in a
I
featurette
wouldn't
about it.
go. I wouldn't go with the internet database. I think a lot of that's put up by private individuals, and I think a lot of them could be just making shit up. To be honest.
Well, maybe, but I think Wikipedia does have a thing here about the 54th Massachusetts Infantry Regiment.
Yeah.
I tend to believe Wikipedia is
I
pretty
would, I
accurate
would,
on most of
I
their
would,
stuff.
yeah. I found Wikipedia generally seems to be accurate in a lot of stuff, at least that I know, I'm familiar with. But it's always a little touchy though, getting any information off of the internet. I suppose you probably could go to like one of those Civil War, like a real serious Civil War website, and look up, the 54th, and probably get a lot more information there. I would think.
Well, there is a author of the Civil War named Bruce Catton, and Bruce Catton. I read a lot of his books growing up in school
Oh, cool.
because and Bruce Catton is probably one of the most accurate historians of the time of what they were talking about the black soldiers. They did turn the tide of the war towards the Union because we had a lot more. But the problem was is that the the slavery thing was still an issue. So both Northern and Confederate soldiers dissed them as being irrelevant and and other things. But I don't think
Mm.
so. I think that if the United States didn't get if Lincoln wasn't brave enough to use them, then we probably, I don't know, we'd all probably be Southerners by now.
Well,
So,
if anything, the war would could have very well gone on much longer. I would think at least.
yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to go get my supper, guys, because it's been sitting out there cooling for a while now. So I
Oh,
better
yeah,
go.
go ahead.
I better go get it. So I'm going to just mute myself for a while.
Yeah. Yeah, this came out 10 days before Christmas in 1989, is what it says. So it basically was a Christmas film, which is interesting. That's very interesting that it was a Christmas film. But I was very proud of Denzel to get that,
All right, I'm back.
Best Actor in the Supporting Role. Yay! Hey,
Don't worry, I didn't miss nothing. I put it on my phone. I went to go get my pork loin off the grill.
yeah. Hi, Daniel. Daniel's in the room. Hey, Daniel. What's
Hey,
up?
Daniel.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
not good.
that's not good right there.
Yeah. Please get better.
Daniel, I got the Cosby link up top there for you.
Yeah, go ahead and watch the Cosby, Daniel, and because it's a great film. It really is. Anyway, that's enough facts. What I'll do is at the end, after we're all done here, I'll just tell you what the final results were. They have some of the
When did they invent cigarettes? Because it had to have been around this time, maybe.
I
I know tobacco's been around
because I
for
told you from Bruce Catton
centuries.
of how many died and so forth at the very end. So we'll just wait.
When did they start making like actual cigarettes? Because I know tobacco's been around for centuries, but it used to be all pipe.
You know what's crazy is that the South only had cotton, mostly cotton, and that was their only like major. The North had so much. What was that? I lost that.
Oh, it's just years. Oh, never mind.
That
Cigarettes were invented for a lot.
Sorry,
long time.
I didn't hear what you kind of cut out.
Oh, it's something about cigarettes, but I just looked it up. It's been around since the early 16th century, and even cigarettes have been in a form since the 9th century. We went to the Aztecs there to make them. Or no, the Mayans. Then the Aztecs.
Outside, I guess.
Now, would he have the same reaction if it wasn't his lifelong friend? Yeah, and hey there, Daniels. I don't know if you heard me.
Hey, what's up?
Nothing, just watching Glory.
Hi, Daniel.
Hi, Mikey.
Hello, Coco.
He's in my mom's room right now.
Oh yeah, no worries.
Yeah, I've been watching that World War I episode of Indiana Jones, and I think it's interesting. I mean, he lost the entire first team that he got. He lost all of them.
Yeah.
Like, whoa.
Yeah.
His entire first regiment just wiped out.
Well,
yeah, that was the Peacock's Eye one. Yeah, that's a good one.
Well, they're still trying to fight like they're fighting with musket balls that hit their target like 1% of the time.
Yeah, didn't Resolute say that they still had accuracy issues when it came to fighting close quarters like that in the Civil War?
At the time, it had more than quadrupled. The mini balls and the rifling was far more advanced than anyone in the country had any experience with.
The plus they had repeating rifles.
Yes, that's true. Those were the carbines.
Limited.
Spencer carbines, yeah. But they were very limited, yes. The Spencer repeating rifles. Yeah.
Yeah.
There were
At that point, that was a type of warfare that no one on Earth had experienced before. Not even in the European wars did they have that level of accuracy for any type of ammunition. So it's pretty much the test.
Yeah. Now here's the craziest thing. You have three major forms of gunpowder that would hit you. If you were coming at if you're coming towards a cannonade or a lineup of cannons, you either had a chance of being hit
This
by a
is
musket ball or by what
this
they call a mini ball, or the other
guys.
thing that would have hit you besides the cannon.
This is a very good scene coming up here because Shaw has noticed that the troops are still very undisciplined, and he's going to make a point right here in this scene that I think is quite you know worthwhile.
You forgot to take the rod out. You forgot to take the rod out the first time. It's still in there.
That's just a filming mistake.
I still caught it.
That probably was one of them. It's still a great film, and mostly historically accurate.
I forgot to count how many shots he took. Seems a record on that.
I think it was probably around 5 or 6, but
Yeah.
he's making the point that you guys, yeah, train them properly. Exactly. Because if they go into battle with all the gunfire going on around them and they can't reload fast enough,
Well, they were just
well, you know what'll happen.
Just spoiler alert, the same thing that happens anyway.
well, a lot of them. Yeah. Well, when they started this regiment, they started with 600 men. That's what Shaw was in charge of, 600 men, and most of them being obviously, black Americans. But they weren't considered Americans still. They were still regarded as slaves, just freedmen slaves. That's what they called them, the freedmen. This is why they decided to start regiments like that. And the Massachusetts was one of the first. Then they were followed by other states after that, the northern states. That was interesting. They never took the slaves from the border states. Like what was it?
Yeah, because otherwise,
Kentucky, Tennessee.
well,
Yeah,
well, Mikey, that's because then they'd have 4 more states rebelling against them.
that's a good point. Yeah, you're right. Missouri should have had some, but yeah, they were still recovering. And I have to agree with PvP. I really did like Denzel's performance in this. As Trip, I thought, yeah, he did a wonderful job, and he
Yeah, Denzel's
deserved that
great.
Oscar. Yeah.
Oh, very much. Yeah. I think
Oh
all
yeah,
of them are all the actors in this movie are fine, though. I think they all do a really solid job. I can't think of a bad performance in this movie, really. They're all pretty damn good. I love how they're kind of disagreeing
Broderick
here, too.
was
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, Broderick was
how
nominated for Best Actor for this. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I actually just looked what it actually did win. Denzel, of course, won Best Supporting Role. Then the cinematography by Freddie Francis won an Oscar, as did the sound. I find it interesting, though, that James Horner's score was not nominated at all, which I think it probably should have been, my opinion. But
yes. Well, it's a great story, and like I said, in Bruce Catton's and in other writers that wrote about the Civil War, these men, I mean, they're the one, they're the first, to to an instance where you have black slaves. Like I said, they were black slaves originally. Then they became free men, and to fight alongside northern soldiers. The saddest thing was is that both sides didn't regard them as relevant, and that was the hard part. I mean, it was just trying to get them to fight as a unified force. You know, whites and blacks. So yeah, that's why this movie is so important because it showed that even in the face of adversity, um, that the blacks did participate. They did work hard, even though it was some useless manual labor. Until they started fighting, and then
Oh,
when they
here's a,
did,
here
they fought
here
better than some people.
here's a good scene.
Yeah.
Denzel's character mouthed off there, and
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I know.
he gets a little bit of a disciplinary action. Uh,
Yeah, but his sergeant was played by Morgan Freeman, so John Rawlins. Yeah. So
yeah, above all
All right,
else,
I had to
you
step
gotta
away.
have you gotta have discipline in the military unit, right?
Yeah, I stepped away for a second. I didn't see what happened. What happened?
Oh, basically,
Oh,
the drill sergeant was disciplining, Shaw's
Trip.
educated friend there, and
Yeah.
he was ordering him to attack him with a bayonet to stab him, and of course, it didn't go too well. He didn't stab him, and basically the drill sergeant, took away his rifle and basically got him on the ground, so he could have run him through, but he was just making a point that he wasn't, up to snuff as far as training yet. So
Well, one thing I remembered about also is that the the slaves that became soldiers, the black slaves that became soldiers, they eventually did fight with a lot more bravery. There were a lot of other, obviously there were other regiments besides the Massachusetts one, but they all said, I mean, all their commanders,
they were about as well trained as the rest of the Union troops, which is to say,
and
not very
officers
well.
said they fought with a lot more bravery. That was a proud moment for blacks back then.
Yeah, they wanted to prove themselves in order to try to earn the respect of the white man.
It worked not in the way they hoped, but
It wasn't like they were just going off into suicide missions.
Yeah,
yeah.
cause that happened
Well,
in.
they're all suicide missions. The Union sort of used the Imperium of Man approach to warfare,
Well, I
Well,
do
I
have
thought
a.
the Zach Brannigan approach to warfare.
that's what I was gonna say. I thought it was Zach Brannigan style. Or
Well, if it gets gory enough, it's the Imperium form of warfare.
Yeah.
Literally, the only way the Union won the war is because they had bodies to throw at it
Well,
and they had
they
trains.
did say early on, or I think it was
what was that, Mikey?
they did.
Oh, he must have got out full.
Yeah, we were pressing more people into service. We had fighting, and we had more materials,
Yeah.
Well,
to put
well, the
together
Union,
bombs and things like that.
well, the South, well, the South was known as the farm agricultural hub of the United States. The North was the industrial hub,
Yeah.
and
The
the
Union
North.
ended up drafting more men than lived in the South. That's
Well,
Yeah,
their advantage.
well, I thought it was like 28 million people lived in the North and like 9 million in the South.
Is a
yeah,
little bit
we
more
ended
than
up.
28 million, I believe, but that's
Yeah,
roughly accurate.
yeah, I found out Resolute that in Guerrilla that we ended up with the black slaves becoming soldiers. We ended up with over 160,000 of them, and they were partly the reason to turn the tide because we recruited that many. That wanted to get their licks in against the South.
Okay, I got the numbers from the Encyclopedia Britannica.
Britannica.
1 million people lived in the North, and 9 million lived in the South, and 4 million of the people in the South were slaves.
So
Right.
there's 5 million living in the South.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
about 5 million. Right.
I don't know if they gave some of the black people weapons in the South or not.
Well, no,
The
because
Union, yeah, the Union
No, the
left
Confederates.
caches. The
yeah,
Confederates, no, it was essentially illegal to give a slave a weapon
yeah, but
because
sometimes
the obvious would happen.
right, but sometimes the North would. This was before they really got established. The North would give them shoddy weapons to start with. That might, if it rained or something, the gunpowder would get wet. It would
Oh,
ruin the yeah. And
that's
then of
part of the
course,
that's
yeah. Go
part of the
ahead.
movie, actually, Mikey. As we're getting probably fairly soon to, well, this guy is a jackass. Shaw's starting to realize some of his commanding fellow officers are basically still racist dickheads who don't really give a shit about this succeeding. Right? They don't even have
Yeah.
respect for Shaw. I don't think some of these guys, which we'll
No.
Well,
get
of
to later.
course.
But
Yeah.
there are scenes like where Shaw says, "My men need shoes." Like we need shoes because the men are their feet are getting infected and really horrible, right? And
Right.
he has to really fight. I think he fights this guy actually eventually to get them shoes later in the film. But
Well,
yeah,
he got
Shaw really he's got an uphill battle for his men basically.
yeah. Well, throughout the whole film, because what Gorilla wrote down there in the description was that one of the men, Trip, I believe it was, went to look for, or they thought he deserted, but he didn't desert. He was trying to find the shoes for his fellow soldiers, and
That
they
comes up in
raped
the
him.
film. That
Yeah,
comes up in the film.
yeah, I remember that part, and that was so sad. Like, you know, it's almost like the northern armies in that region wanted them to fail, you know. And these guys were willing to fight and die, you know. Like we said, this was just after the Emancipation Proclamation, so
Well,
to free the slaves,
well,
and
Mikey.
yeah,
Well, there were a lot of racists in the northern part of the states too, still at this point. So
They're more in the North than there were in the South.
yeah,
that's true.
so
Yes,
not
that's true.
not everybody was cheering Shaw on by any means.
Yeah.
Oh no,
There wasn't a man, woman, or child alive in the North that thought blacks equal to whites or had basic respect
yeah,
for them. It's sort of like today. A lot of it
that's the
was
shame of it.
the on paper that say, "Oh, they don't deserve to be slaves, but they're not equal to us." At
Yeah,
least in the South, the very poor understood and sympathized with slavery.
okay. I stepped away for a second to get a drink. What's this guy getting punched for?
They haven't said yet.
So what he's getting punched for?
Oh, ah.
Well, I'm trying to remember now. I haven't watched this film in a while, but was this where he went off to try and find shoes?
Yeah, maybe.
Was that what he was being punished for? I think it might have been actually.
Well,
They had just said it. I couldn't understand what he was saying.
okay.
I'm just eating my supper, so I wasn't paying 100% attention. But I think that's
Yeah.
probably his crime is to almost be guilty of desertion, even though luckily they don't shoot him or anything. But yeah, it's still
If
pretty
his
harsh.
desertion, they would have shot him. He went
Yeah.
AWOL. If anything, he went AWOL.
Well,
Yeah.
don't remember exactly, but
Yeah. Can you imagine being whipped so much that you don't even move? You just stare at the guy who ordered it?
but there's a great moment coming up here, Gorilla. One reason again why Denzel won the Academy Award.
Okay, Mikey.
Seriously, any guy that can cry on cue like that during the scene this intense, that's some pretty damn fine acting.
Yeah. Hey there, Mikey.
Not crying on cue. That's sailing.
Oh, I didn't see them put anything in his eye, and the camera held on him for quite a while, so I don't know.
It's a bit of a old simple trick.
No, they did that right when they switched the they did the scene cut to the major, I bet, or colonel to the colonel. Does Morgan Freeman get a lot more to do in this movie? Because I really liked him in Shawshank. Yep, he deserved it. He left. You and AWOL. Oh, Jim said hail to Pop. Mikey says, I'm going to hang out here, guys. Mikey says, hello again, Jim. And Mikey says, watching along with your friends, too.
It's sort of pointless to lie like that when he can literally see the stuff on the shelves. Hey, Libin.
Hey, Scurvy, how's it going? You know, this movie would probably get canceled today for just that drop of the N word. Even though it's accurate for the time.
They'll be delivered by nightfall.
He just cut high off at the corner.
That would have been a problem for a young officer like him. He doesn't know how to project his authority on a lonely quartermaster.
Oh shit. Oh, they're shipping out. Yeah, limits are scurry's pretty good. He says, hitting the pop. Reading was about bloody oxygen. You know. Hey, Lemon, if you haven't seen this, I got the Cosby link for you.
Another great scene here, guys. The War Office wants to pay them less than they promised, right?
Not uncommon during war.
Yeah.
But Shaw stands up here.
Well, they're going to have a riot on their hands.
Again, not uncommon for war.
Yeah.
I doubt there's ever been a war where the common soldier hasn't been shortchanged on pay.
There you go. That's one way to get back on your side. Just steer up one
Yep,
paycheck.
that's what a real leader would do. He would inspire his men. And now they're getting their uniforms finally.
Now the flags might be more accurate. Well, I cannot believe that many clean shaven people in in there though. That's a little bit hard to believe. They didn't have safe. Yeah, they still had the
Uh,
straight rate blade.
for an event like that, they would have made it a point to be a little more cleaned up.
Yeah. They're going across the Potomac. So that basically just a ceremonial position for him.
Well, no, I guess he basically would
Field
have the rank of
commission.
sergeant major because it's non-commissioned, but he still has the rank, right? So
Well, I suppose that way it gives a reason for the men to listen to him.
I think it's just it's pretty awesome to see how the regiment's finally coming together here. All through all the tough training they've gone endured, and now they're disciplined soldiers, and they're actually getting pride in what they're doing.
Oh shoot, I forgot. Hey, Trusty Ape, how's it going? Let's see, Mike. He says hello, and StreamYard wasn't working for me, so now I'm watching here. And hey there, Trusty Ape. Welcome, welcome. I got the Cosby link in there for you. He says, hey there, Mikey. Hello, Trusty Ape. And Trusty says, hey, hey, it's Kirby. And Trusty Ape says, hey, Mikey, howdy, Pop. Mike says, hey, Trusty. Mike says, Shaw really loved his men. Yeah? Ferrying the river. They had to burn down Darwin, Georgia as part of Sherman March. Oh, it's part of Sherman. Okay. And the Pop says hello there, Ape. He must have gotten his rank just on his name.
Well, his father is well known.
Yeah.
This guy, back finally after he finishing supper, but this guy is a real piece of work. He's a bad,
Yeah.
bad man. Yeah. Oh, did we lose Mikey again?
Well, he had to. Streamer wasn't working for him, so he had to go in the
So,
chat.
he bowed out, did he? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was having
And
a rough time.
yeah, Scurvy says, "Hope you get the rest up, Pop. Glad you made it here. There. Yeah, we all
Yeah.
are.
Yeah, have a good night there, Pop. Take a big rest after that hard move you just did.
Yeah, Scurvy says that to Pop. Darren, Georgia, June 11th, 1963. When was the proclamation signed? Wasn't that January 1st of 63?
I honestly don't remember what the date was.
Well, it's our history that we're supposed to remember, not the Canadians.
Actually, I think some Canadians probably know more about your history than some
Yeah,
Americans.
January 1st of 63. It's January 1st of 63.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
I was right for it. No, I just looked it up.
Oh, good. Oh shit. Now, see, this is not the kind of unit that Shaw would command. This guy's a real dirty dog.
Hey, wait. Why are they shooting at that house?
Because their commander's an asshole. Basically, he doesn't have any respect for his men at all. He just, yeah, listen to him. They're little monkey children. That's what he thinks of his troop, right? He's a racist asshole, basically, and he should never been put in charge of a black regiment.
That guy should have been in charge of any regiment.
He should have been in prison.
His
probably.
orders is rape, pillage, and plunder, which
Yep. And look at this.
he's 100% for.
And he kills his own man. Like, you can tell Shaw's troops aren't too impressed by him either. Shaw is horrified, of course.
Yeah.
Oh God, he's also he's also prejudiced against the Jews too. Oh God.
He might as well be Sherman.
He's a psychopath, basically, I think. And unfortunately, I guess he outranks Shaw. Yeah. Oh, Shaw does not like that idea,
I have a feeling that those guys would shoot that guy.
but they can't. That would also be a war, a crime, right?
Hey, he died in battle, man. Hey, we all saw
Well,
the Feds, the Confederates shot it, man.
unfortunately, there's no Confederates in the town, so Shaw basically carries out his dirty order because he realizes that's the only way he can protect his men, right? Because he knows if his men ever get under the leadership of this guy, they won't last long, right?
Yeah.
So he basically does something that he finds morally, horrible, but he does it anyway just to keep his men under his command and keep them safe. But yeah, I think this is probably one of the most awful scenes in the whole movie. It's pretty horrendous, other than the battle scenes, of course. Gee, that term was even alive back in those days.
I think it was made for the
Met
movie.
something. Yeah,
That's good.
it's
That makes me
been
laugh
something
every
quite
time.
different.
I know, but it's still funny. This is a really good scene, actually. Once again, good old Denzel is a little bit too arrogant for his own good, but
Yeah.
he's like needling these white dudes pretty badly. Oh, there you go. Oh boy. Yeah. He's lucky Morgan Freeman chose to be the bigger man there, eh?
Yeah.
Well, that's why he was made sergeant major.
Exactly. Because Shaw realized the guy, had some brains, right? So yeah. You'd never get that line in a movie these days. I kind of love the honesty in these scenes, though. Huh. Oh God, that's such good writing. Oh man, great scene. Morgan Freeman's an awesome actor. Damn.
Oh yeah, it probably hurt more than the whipping.
He got a verbal whooping that time. I think it actually almost hurt more than the whip, actually, looking by his expression. He
Yeah.
wasn't too happy after that talking down. Oh, here's
That's
the
the first time it
psychopath.
ever happened.
Is that supposed to be Sherman?
I don't remember
I
if they
don't
ever
remember.
actually. I don't remember if they identify him actually. I just love how the psycho who had the torch is playing the little harpsichord or whatever there, though. That's pretty weird.
Oh, throwing his dad's name around like big shot.
That's the thing. Shaw has a little bit of pull with the upper ups, right? Like the governor and.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's just dropping his daddy's name to get what.
Well, and his dad knows Lincoln, I guess, probably personally on
Yeah.
some level. So it's
But he
like,
definitely knows the governor, and the governor has more pull with the
with Lincoln,
regiment
yeah,
from the state. It doesn't
yeah.
matter. Lincoln's input isn't the highest authority in that situation because they are sworn loyalty
Also,
to Massachusetts, not to
yeah, I think
the.
Shaw mentioned smuggling or something here, so he's got a little bit of dirt on these guys. So yeah, there we go. They're getting worried enough to the point where they go, "Screw this. We don't really need. We'll just let them go fight and die. We really don't care."
They don't want news getting out that they've been plundering the South.
Yep.
Yeah, the government doesn't care. It wouldn't go over well with most of the populace. But looting, pillaging, murder, rape, all very big problems, especially on Sherman's march.
Oh, I'm sure a lot of that was going on for sure. Yeah, it was a pretty chaotic time. You guys might want to reload now,
Yeah.
like very soon. Yeah, don't celebrate too soon, boys. Oh yeah.
You should have reloaded a long time ago. Ugh. Hey, at least they didn't have differentiating colors in this war for the officers. So they knew so the enemy knew where to shoot.
Oh, there you go.
Wait, I thought he got shot.
Yeah, he did get shot, but he's
Wounded, not killed.
not killed. Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool that he saved Denzel's life there when Denzel was like treating him like shit for so long. It's like, hey, we're in this together, right? We're in the same
Yeah.
same unit. We got to have each other's backs.
In a situation like that, he wouldn't even
Abs-
known who he was saving.
Absolutely,
Just
but still,
someone in his regiment.
I just
He
thought,
probably didn't know until he
as
saw
a
him.
moment in the movie, it was a nice touch. Anyway, it seems like they might have won this battle at least.
Yeah. Oh shoot! I forgot to check the. Holy crap! We got like. Let's see. Lemon says, "Nope, you get the rest, pup. You made it there." Uh, Mike says, "Glad you're finally home, pop." Yes, Implementation Proclamation, January 1st, 1963. Here's Pop's Gift and Go. Till he gets to work and gets on his feet after. Yep. Montgomery was a bastard. And Lemon says, "I know all you guys have given and all that, but you never know who may be lurking or seen the replay." Thank you very much, Scurvy. Mikey says, "Truly felt compassion for the 54th during the course of this film." Mikey says, "Harpsichord played in the background."
Yeah, the harpsichord when he was talking to the general.
Okay. What's he supposed to promise?
Thomas wants Shaw to promise him that he will not send him back to Boston to recuperate. He wants to remain with the troops so he can continue fighting, even though he's been wounded.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't. I guess after all the training, he's just become so dedicated to serving that he just doesn't want to be sent back because of a wound, right?
Yeah.
And of course, Shaw, being his old friend and his commander, will pretty much agree to it.
Yeah. What an ass.
So much for writing a detailed article.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure it'll be full of detail. He just has to think up the detail first.
Ah, right.
Well, for
Yep.
about 100 years, you get a pretty good deal. And then, well, old, what was it, LBJ? Thought up a way that basically turned back the clock to before the Civil War.
Yeah. You know, it's so they saying that they're all dirty.
Well, everybody is, I guess, to a certain level when you think about it.
Yeah.
None of us are, none of us are totally innocent like the day we were born.
Hey,
Yeah.
I already know
Well,
I'm going to hell. It's just this like go big or go home.
I
well,
like
they
these
weren't
little
really, really, really big.
I like these little scenes though where you just get a couple of characters having a conversation about, that kind of make you think about this stuff. Because a lot of war movies are just, action, 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 right? Whereas this one has sort of a thoughtful side to it as well.
Yeah.
They're up against a lot of shit here. We're getting to the final battle here, guys. It's quite an ending.
You could tell he's nervous when he said that. Great acting right there.
Yeah, it's a damn good scene. I really
Yeah.
wish Matthew Broderick had done more dramatic roles because he's a damn good actor in this. Damn good.
Unfortunately, I
Oh,
think this is pushing his abilities as an actor beyond what he's normally capable of.
well, maybe, but you don't know until you try, right? I used to think Tom Hanks sucked in his early stuff, but he became a pretty damn good actor. I
That's
love this. I
debatable.
love this scene. This is a great scene.
Yeah, damn good scene. Damn good scene. Yeah, You just didn't know what to say.
Yeah, I think he had a hard time because he's never felt a part of anything in his life until now, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And then when he said, I love the 54th, that's like a total change in his character from earlier in the film. For the first time, he feels like he's a part of something important.
I thought they were charging you at dusk, not after daybreak.
No, I think their attack was in the morning, actually. It probably wouldn't have mattered when they attacked, really. That's a pretty heavily fortified fort they're going up against.
At the time, there wouldn't have been any real nighttime fighting. You couldn't move them at a regimental level after nightfall.
He's like, you should look every single one in the eye before he tells them to go to their death.
Well, there's just such a bond.
Wait, why did he go up to his forehead? He went to his chest.
Maybe he's feeling something heartfelt, perhaps.
I don't know. I thought you were supposed to salute him with the forehead.
Well, yeah, but I just love that little bit of there though. It's once again that last little segment where you realize what a deep respect that Shaw and his men have for one another.
You know, these guys are. Oh god, these guys must have probably. He probably volunteered them so that white soldiers would have more respect for the black soldiers. The days of war when you can sit on the sidelines there and hope you don't get hit by straight fire. He knows he's gonna die.
Yeah, it's pretty damn powerful stuff. And I love how he's looking out at the ocean there. It's like even in the midst of horror, there's still beauty in the world, right?
Yeah. Did they even have them back then? Cluster
What was
bombs?
that?
I know they had grape shots. Well, Scorby's asking about cluster bombs. Did they have grape
I,
shots?
I'm not
They
sure.
had grape shots well before this. They had something similar to modern cluster bombs, but essentially is a shell that exploded and released grape shot.
Okay.
Yeah, they had more than enough firepower. That's for sure. Especially in a well-defended fort with, what do they say, 1,000 men defending it?
Yeah.
That's a pretty big challenge, I would
Plus
say.
a lot of cannons.
Yeah, and then you've got to run across the bloody beach where there's no cover at all. So you're basically sitting duck targets.
I would have said, fuck that fort, go and take everything out around, like 20 miles around it.
And then you got to get through the barricades and the wall, right, of the fort.
Yeah.
But I think Shaw basically volunteered to make a point that these men were as good as any regiment would ever be, and they were absolutely 100% worthy of being respected as soldiers. And I think that's why he volunteered the regiment. And of course, since they respect him so much, they're quite proud to follow him into battle.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Did he even still shoot with that arm? Looks like he got shot right up in the arm there.
I know he's obviously suffering still. Yeah. Oh boy.
You know, with those rifles, they could have probably taken out all those guys on the wall.
Well, I
You
think
gotta,
the range was pretty limited on these guns. I think though. You'd have to get fairly
A
close, I
couple
would
hundred
think, to have any
yards.
sense of accuracy at all, right? And against these cannons,
Yeah.
it's like, oh. Oh boy.
Oh shit. You think they'd seen where they stopped him?
I don't think the barrage ever lets up. Actually,
It
they just want
wouldn't.
to keep pounding them, till they're all dead. Basically,
A fort like that, if they're not getting supplied from the outside, they can keep that up for weeks.
I gotta say they must have had a good stockade full of ammunition.
Oh, you see the bodies just lifted up off the ground there?
It's a pretty amazing battle scene for sure. This film pretty much does end with a bang.
Yeah, Scurvy says put some HIMARS up
Oh
there.
man,
That would be very helpful.
I haven't watched this in a while, and it's like, damn, this is even more intense than I remember it. Oh, what a great!
Oh shit.
Oh, now that's a stuntman that earned his pay. Wow.
In reality, a charge like this would have been done in broad daylight.
Oh man. Oh,
I know why they chose to film this for a nighttime setting. The contrast with the explosions, but not horribly accurate.
Now they are close enough to shoot. Why aren't they fucking shooting?
Are they going to shoot a wall?
There we go. Finally.
oh shit.
You trying to get the men pissed off to fight back, or that why he sacrificed himself?
No, he's trying to get them to charge ahead because if they sit there, they're going to die a lot easier than they would if they charge. Hey, LDG.
Hey, Pickles, how's it going? Yeah, I'm about done with the movie here. We're just at the slaughter.
In a situation like this,
They finally
if
do actually
available,
breach the wall, though, and they do get some revenge here at the end. They actually do manage to kill a few Confederates.
a charge like that is very, very poor planning.
Well, it's like as the guy above Shaw said, it's basically, the first regiment's basically sacrificing themselves, right?
Yeah. That's where the entire plan went wrong. It was an asinine move to begin with. The fort's basically cut off from outside supply. There's no naval support coming because at this point in the war, the Confederate Navy was essentially non-existent. A couple of days of offshore bombardment, maybe a week of offshore bombardment. All they have left is minimal ration supplies. Perfectly acceptable surrender.
So the 54th's going to take it pretty much on their own? Oh, we don't even get to see the.
Well, I think that final cannon barrage basically wiped out the ones that were left. Um, they were basically so outnumbered and outgunned, they never really had a chance. But that wasn't really the point, I guess. Shaw was making the point that these men were actual, real, well trained soldiers that actually did deserve the chance to fight and risk their lives in battle. And I think he did prove that with that final assault on the fort. It's a tragic ending, which I think makes it even more powerful. Really, I think this is a great film. I love this film.
And they lost.
It actually mentions what happened at the end here in a minute. It'll come up on screen.
Hard to get overly emotional over such a bad battle plan.
I find it's a very emotional film personally, and
Why was he face down?
I think this is
What
a
was
very
that?
powerful scene too. When Shaw gets buried in a mass grave with his men, like there's no rank, there's no privilege here. They're all the same, in death together. They fought
Well,
together, they died together.
to the
There's no.
Confederates, a dead soldier, a dead Union soldier is a dead Union soldier. They
Yeah, but
hate them all
that's
equally.
not my point though. My point is they're all together, and they're all together. Shaw never. I don't think Shaw ever thought of himself as above his men. He always. I mean, he was firmly in command, and he took his responsibilities seriously. But I don't think he ever looked down on his men in any way. He respected them, and I think in death they're all together. Here we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fort was never taken. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I gotta say, damn good movie.
It
Yeah.
is, isn't it, Gorilla? Oh, by the way, you could have let that go a bit longer because I think the end credits, as that pulls, that is the actual memorial to Shaw. And it does pull back, I think, and have a little bit of there's some kind of inscription, but I guess you could always watch that on your own.
Okay. That's the second heavy movie I've watched today.
Oh, what was the first one?
Uh, The Sound of Freedom.
Oh, yeah. What kind of movie is that? Is that like
Oh, it's a damn good movie. This Homeland Security agent, they go after pedophiles, sex traffickers, and all that. But
okay?
they never recover the kids until finally he's able to recover one, and then he sets this thing in the end. Pretty much goes rogue. It's very, very heavy.
Yes. Well, yeah. If you're talking about sex trafficking, that sounds pretty
Of
heavy.
kids.
Yeah. Well, that is even
Yeah.
worse. Yeah, it ain't the Sound of Music, that's for sure, right?
Yeah. And Trusty Ape says, "Bravo."
Yeah,
Oh man,
I've heard a lot of good things about that movie. Yeah, I might have to check that one out.
watch
Yeah.
it. Watch it. It's a gorilla recommendation.
Okay, Gorilla
Watch it
recommended.
quick too, because Regal and AMC aren't likely to keep it around long. I know my
Well,
local one. It was
I-
there from the 4th to yesterday, and today they took it out.
Yeah, well, we don't have AMC here in Canada, so I'm probably safe. Usually, a film will stay around for a week or two at least. So I think it just opened like a couple days ago, so I should be able to probably see it next weekend because I can't really schedule too much during the week when I'm working. So,
Yeah, I recommend it. I highly recommend it.
shit, how long is it? Is it short, long, in
2
between?
hours.
2 hours. Okay, that's not too bad. That's
You
better than
think-
Dial of Destiny. That sucker's like 2 hours and 40 something minutes.
Though I will say, even though it bugs me that I have to read half the movie because it's in Spanish, it does give it a level of a level of authenticity to it.
Right.
But usually I don't like movies that I have to read half of them.
So it's subtitled like half the movie.
Yeah, but
Wow.
I'm starting to change my mind a little bit on this, on the subtitles thing. This movie is changing my mind on the subtitles part.
Good. Good. Because I got to say, there's a lot of great foreign films with subtitles that are really amazingly cool.
Well, I might not watch a foreign film like that, but something
Oh.
like this,
Yeah.
I will put that aside for that.
No, definitely though, Gorilla. There's some foreign films I would definitely recommend to you if you ever decide to watch some. Because even though they're subtitled, there's some amazingly great films. Foreign films.
Yeah.
Well, have you ever heard of Akira Kurosawa, the Japanese director?
No.
Oh,
He
he's
doesn't
kind of
know what anime is.
well, it's not anime. No, Kurosawa's not anime. He was basically one of the big directors back in the 20th century in Japan. It was live action stuff, and he did some samurai movies. Some day to day dramas.
Hey, wait. You mean there's movies and shows that come out of Japan that's other than anime or porn?
Oh God, yeah.
There used to be.
Well, let's
Now
let's
it's anime, porn, and kaiju.
have you ever heard of the Western Magnificent Seven from the '60s with Yul Brynner?
No.
Oh well, I guess I'm fighting
The
an
only-
uphill battle.
The only other Japanese stuff I know of is Godzilla.
Well, let's put it this way. Kurosawa directed a film called The Hidden Fortress, which basically had a couple of, kind of crazy dudes, kind of outsiders, kind of down on their luck, and they fell into the storyline with a princess that was behind enemy lines and captured, and they just, with the help of a samurai, they decided to go rescue her. And George Lucas basically credits that film quite a bit to coming up with Star Wars because it's very similar, a lot of the plot points. And yeah, it's a very good film. A lot of fun.
It sounds like The Last Samurai.
I don't think I've ever seen The Last Samurai. To be honest.
Not a lot like The Last Samurai.
Anyway, Kurosawa was basically considered like up there with Hitchcock and Kubrick as far as quality directors of the 20th century goes. So his movies are definitely very damn
For
good.
their time. Hitchcock, just because he's old it's older, it sort of inflates their numbers because
I don't see it.
Of the
I don't
time.
see that.
It's a little bit. Yeah, but Hitchcock really gets some undue credit.
Well, I don't agree, Jerm, but then that's okay. I think a lot of his best films, even some of the stuff he did in the 40s, even still stands up story wise. And he usually got some pretty damn great actors in his films too, which helps a lot.
Yeah, that helps.
Yeah.
For example, Birds.
Oh, Birds. Well,
Birds is a shit film.
Well, that's a bad example. I never thought Birds was first level Hitchcock at all. For one thing, the special effects are horribly dated now. Like horribly dated.
But that's the one everyone always mentions, Birds and Psycho.
Well, people love Psycho too, and I think Psycho is totally overrated, to be honest.
Yeah.
Hey, Psycho was wonderful.
It's a great movie, but I think it's overrated. Oh God, what's that film?
It's pretty basic.
Yeah, it is. I think it's overrated. There's another film I'm thinking of that's very similar to Psycho that nobody talks about. That is actually a really great film. Just see if I can find. I'm going to see if I can look it up here because I want to let you guys know about this one. Just give me a few minutes. Anyway, I'm glad you really enjoyed that, Gorilla.
Yeah.
It's a good film. Very emotional film for me, anyway.
Yeah. Well, if you got that was emotional for you, then The Sounds of Freedom will really get you going.
Oh shit! I better take some Kleenex with me so I can cry.
No, they're like there's a lot of people I know who are tearing up on it. It got a glisten in my eye.
That's good.
Not quite a tear, but it got a glisten. And this is coming from a guy who gets told he's a heartless bastard all the time. So
I never thought of you that way. Oh man. Oh, here it is. I just found
okay.
it.
Exes tend to go straight for that. I can't count how many women called me a heartless bastard before.
They weren't the exes before. They weren't the exes at the time.
Well, they are now, but the time they called you that, I'm sure it was well on the way.
I just found the name of the film I'm thinking about, guys. It's right around the same time. Actually, when did Hitchcock's Psycho come out? That was
60 something.
1960, maybe. I think it might have come out right around the same time as this film that I'm looking up now, which was
1960. Yeah.
Same year. In fact, this film actually, come to think of it, I think this film might have come out a few months before Psycho. So I'm wondering if Hitchcock actually saw this movie and copied a bit of it into his script, thematically. It's a film by Michael Powell, which is a very famous British director who did a lot of great films, back, in the early part of the century into the 60s. This is 1960. It's a film called Peeping Tom. And basically it's got a serial killer in it. But this serial killer is way more complicated than the one in Hitchcock's film, like much more complicated, because you actually kind of feel sorry for the guy. I mean, I'm not going to give away spoilers, but he's really, he's a very disturbed person, obviously, because he's, a serial killer killing young women. But you actually kind of feel sympathy for him on a certain level as the film progresses, because you understand his background and how damaged he basically was as a child. So it's a very hard-hitting film. It kind of, deals with, things like voyeurism and pornography, and very ahead of its time for 1960. It's still a really hard-hitting film to this day. And if you guys ever get a chance to see it, I highly recommend it because it's disturbing, but it's also very, very, very well done. It's a very, very good film. So if you ever get to see it, it's definitely a worthwhile watch.
Maybe we'll do that the Sunday after Christmas there, depending on when it falls, because we, way I see it planned is next month we were planning on songs made into movies.
Oh,
Then September, did we dedicate September to Robin Williams?
oh, is it all Robin Williams in
I
September?
think so. Whatever his, I think you're wanting to do it over his birthday though.
Oh no! We looked it up and it wasn't course. His birthday was in July,
Yeah.
so we already had that dedicated there. Maybe I'll do a special Robin Williams day. Let's double check when his birthday was.
The 21st of this month.
Have you announced your musical themed films yet, Gorilla? Because I must have missed that.
We're looking into the days there, and that falls on Friday, so maybe that's 2 weeks from now. Okay, so we'll figure something. Maybe I'll figure something out. Well, we haven't got it set in stone except for two of them that I definitely want to do. One is Bohemian Rhapsody, and the other one is Harper's Valley PTA.
Well, that's certainly a variety. Those are pretty different films.
Yeah, but I like both the songs, so I think
Yeah.
Jeff Germ wants to throw it to.
Hey,
Want to pick a couple he can, or if you guys want to pick one or two of each.
I'm willing to pretty much watch anything, especially if I've never seen it. And actually, I haven't seen either one of those films really. So yeah, that'd be good.
The only ones I can think of are made by not. I don't think I can think of anyone.
I'd have to really
9
think
to 5, maybe.
9 to 5. Okay, we could do that one, and then.
That's not a good movie. It's not really a good song either.
Okay, song was
Yeah.
alright. What about Coal Miner's Daughter?
Actually, that's a pretty good film, actually, but I don't think there's a lot of music in it.
Well, I don't care about the music. It's based on the song.
Yeah, I don't know. I wish I could think of some good. Well, you're talking. Are you talking like any kind of musical? Like, could we go back to like 1950s classic musicals? Or is
He's
that
not
too
talking
boring?
about musical. He's just talking any movie that shares a title with a song.
Or the song was made into a movie. Like Harper's Valley PTA, they made that into a movie. Bohemian Rhapsody, they made that song into a movie.
The song and the movie, the only relationship they have is Queen.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me
It's
see.
basically a biopic.
Yeah, I'm just taking a look here, seeing if I can find anything, but not a lot comes to mind.
Oh, this one might be good. The Night the Lights Went Out in Georgia.
Hmm.
Or The Gambler.
Again, I think that's really tangentially related.
I don't know. We'll figure it out in our night when I'm not so damn tired.
Yeah, nothing much is coming to mind, really.
Yeah, so let's wrap this up. I gotta head to bed. I'm that camping trip. 2 days of sleeping on the hard ground.
sounds like you didn't have a very fun weekend.
No, I had a fun weekend. But back when I was 16, there.
That's a good suggestion. The movie ain't much, but and quite frankly, Kiss ain't much, but it is a rather fun-ish movie.
All right, let me write that down so I don't forget. I'll look into it there. Detroit Rock City.
And I do believe it has your favorite thing in it.
Titties! No, I had a fun weekend. It's just I'm just extremely tired.
Hey, I got one. How about the Beatles film "Hard Day's Night"? Because that was a song they did, and it is a movie they made, and it's actually got a lot of fun. That movie too.
Okay. No, but as I said, I had to go I had to drive an hour to go get my daughter, then drive an hour back, then drive an hour to go drop her off, an hour back, then sleep. Like, my mind was like, hell yeah, camping's a lot of fun, sleep on the ground. My back tells me, fuck you. I ain't 14 no more, sleeping on the out on the hard grass.
So you didn't have like a foamy or a sleeping bag or
I had a
something?
sleeping bag, but I forgot my blankets I used for padding.
Oh shit, not good.
Yeah, so oh well.
Get a proper air mattress.
Yeah, I actually there might be one in the closet if I come to think. No, I thought I had one at one point. No, what I just gotta do is I go the cheap route and get one of those inflatable pool pads. I think I might just get that for the next camp for the camping trips. Inflatable pool, those inflate that, or then we could just go lay out on the lake too.
Yeah, just get like an air mattress or something. Then you can inflate it, and that's probably pretty comfy.
No, that's what I was talking about. Those inflatable things that
Yeah,
go
You
out on
can
the
float that. You can float an air mattress out onto the lake too. Just take
Yeah.
off the air pump.
Yeah, they got the new tents now that have like the inflatable bottom, so you can you found a new way to die while camping. You're supposed to shove them out, blow them up, and shove them out of the lake. You can go technically camp out of the lake, but
I don't think
Yeah.
I don't think I'd want to sleep on the lake. That sounds a little bit risky, to be
that,
honest.
that just sounds like a new way to die because one puncture, if say you fell asleep on an air mattress went out in the lake, you just roll over, wake up, and you swim back to shore, cussing out whoever pulled your ass out to the lake there. But
Yeah, that's my
but,
problem. I'd roll over and be
but
face
you
down
get
in the lake.
no, but you get the tent and all that. Then you're adding the thing of the tent collapsing and sinking on you while you're trying to figure out how to get the fuck out of there.
Yeah, sleeping on the lake doesn't sound like a very good idea. Oh
Yeah,
man.
Pops is in the same thought I am on this. Air mattresses never last. They always leak better. That's where I was going to go with the heavy duty plastic lake bed or beds that you see people laying on in the middle of their pools.
I don't know. You can get some air mattresses for some pretty low prices.
Yeah, but they don't last as long as those pool things, and I really don't
They're
need
not
that.
supposed to. They're good for one trip, and then by the time you take your next trip in a year or two, you just buy a new one.
Yeah, I'm not gonna keep spending money on air mattresses there. Yeah, plus if with the way Owen did pretty good camping there, and he had a fun time. He wants to do some more, so we might might go camping every couple weeks here this summer, next summer. And I told him that if he wants to sleep out in the front yard with the tent, he can. We live in a safe enough neighborhood.
And
Yeah.
if not, Pops will be on the porch with a shotgun.
Yeah. Well, if it wasn't a safe neighborhood, I wouldn't have allowed it. But it's safe neighborhood, nosy neighbors. So, except when you get fucking robbed one time, and you know exactly who did it, then all of a sudden the neighbors don't see a fucking thing. But yeah, PvP's asking Pops where lost his face tomorrow. While we're waiting for the response there, let's wrap this up because I am tired.
Yeah, you sound tired. I think Pop mentioned he was hoping to do it like
Yeah.
on a chat earlier, like a day or two ago. But I don't want to assume anything because I know Pop's probably tired with the big move, and I don't know if he's got his computer. Well, obviously, I guess he's got something set up, or he wouldn't be chatting with us right
Yeah.
now. So,
Well, you know what they say when you assume something.
yeah, I know.
All right, but thank you.
Oh, Pop just confirmed it. He says yes, we are. That's awesome.
All right, so I just got to try to remember which episode we got. I got.
It's the one with the plants, the killer plants.
Okay. But
I
anyhow,
don't know if
thank
that's
you.
much help, but
Thank you, Pop Culture Courier, for coming. We're hoping. It looks like we're going to be getting back on the streams there. Lost in Space on Mondays. On Tuesdays, it's horror sci-fi's, and then Wednesdays is Gilligan's Island. We're for sure doing Lost in Space. I'm not sure about the other two yet. Thank you, the Trusty Ape, for coming. He has a lot of fun in live streams. It looks like he's trying to get to streaming every day. There's some short, some long ones. It's always an interesting listen to there. Make sure to check him out there. Thank you, Pickles, or I should say LDD at Hashtag Free the Net. He's been streaming a lot every day lately too. They're just swing in, say hi and stuff. Or if you ever need any IT help or need a place to hang out, like today we hung out and watched a movie. Uh, it's at freethenet.org/underground. Thank you, Lemon Pie, for coming. Thank you, Mikey _Seuss4 for coming. Make sure to check him out. He's been doing a stream a week lately, and he's been doing a lot of reviews and his thoughts on different franchises or movies him and his wife just went to. There, scrolling. Thank you, Jim's Landscaping, for coming. Jim's Landscaping LLC #1 Commodore production. He does a lot of fan film stuff and has some puppy films. Make sure to check him out there. And thank you, Hakeem, for coming. And thank you, Daniels is in the thing, sir.
Yeah,
So let's start with Daniels here. What you got going on?
Nothing.
Nothing. No streams or nothing coming up.
No, not unless my co-host wants to do something.
Okay. How about you, PvP?
not much. I usually try and upload an album or two every week, but lately, honestly, I haven't even been doing that because things have been kind of crazy the last few weeks, and work's been kind of chaotic, and so I'm just basically concentrating on getting through the work week, making it to the weekend. Thank goodness. And yeah, not really much going on to report, so nothing definitely planned at this point. Other than Lost in Space tomorrow night, which I'm looking forward to. So that'll be nice.
Lost in Space is
Nice.
coming back tomorrow? Sweet.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
Pop's planning on it. So
And it looks like Mosquito for Tuesday night he's hoping for. And you're welcome there, Trusty Ape. You're welcome.
yeah, I'll have to check that movie out. I never heard of that, but I just looked it up. So
And Jerm, what do you got going on?
Well, if my job and my internet provider will cooperate, Saturday morning cartoons will be back next Saturday morning, 8 a.m. Hopefully with Phantom 2040.
Phantom 2040? Sounds good. As for me, the only two streams I'm doing next week are, well, except for the ones that probably was pop and stuff, will be Black Mirror on Wednesday. We'll finish up season 3. And then Sunday, there we'll be doing All Quiet on the Western Front from 1979.
okay.
That's the 2023 version. But I will not be able to do Waltons or Babylon 5 next week because I will be 200 miles away. So,
Ah.
yeah.
So you didn't do
Running
Waltons
from
last-
the law, are you?
You didn't
No,
do Waltons on Friday, did you?
Well, my dad getting close to retirement and that, they're going to be doing a lot more trips and that. I thought it'd be a good idea to set up their will and have us kids go start punching each other over what we want.
I guess that's better than just everyone showing up for the will readings. I leave it all to goodwill. Screw you.
Oh no! I want one of the stand-up freezers there, and I want one of the buffets. Lacey says she has already laid claim to the cedar chest and stuff, she laid claim to the dining room table, and I think she'll lay claim to one of the cedar chests, and that we got from the lake house there. I might lay claim to the grill. Because by that time I will need. I hope it's a long ways down the road, but we're just laying claim to stuff. that we want, so that they know what, so that way, when they do go there, they know what to have put in our garage sale, and what for us to keep, to put off to another pile.
Yeah, well, I guess if you write everything in the will as to what stuff goes to who, that's probably the best way to do it, really, I suppose.
Yeah.
Then there's no, bickering or surprises, Because I mean, we've all heard of those stories about families that fight each other
Well,
for the will, and like it's horrible, right? Like,
there you set up the will so that way you get to enjoy the fist fights instead of the fist fights after you're gone.
yeah, well, I guess some people do that. Yeah, I love those ones though where they're millionaires and they leave everything to like the SPCA or something, right?
Oh, the worst one I've seen is one of my coworkers' mothers died there, and his mother did not have a will, so the state went and took everything.
Oh, that's bad.
Doesn't matter if you have a will or not. If you owe the state money, they're taking it.
Well, no, I don't even think they owed the state money, but there was no will dedicating all their stuff and their property to the kids.
So the kids didn't even contest it. Like that
Well,
seems
they
weird. Dude.
tried, but the part of the
Jeez.
problem is being able to afford a lawyer to take the case.
Hmm. Yeah, dying
Most
without
lawyers
a
would
will.
take a case like that on contingency
You think they
because
do like
the
pro
pain and
bono or
suffering is
something?
going to be about $500,000.
Hmm.
Yeah, but it's like, yeah, they took everything.
Hmm.
But yeah, Mikey says, cool, lost his face with Pop returns.
Yeah,
And
it's been a while.
Mikey says, great movies, fellas. I had to prepare for my last stream before my free 20 hours on StreamYard runs out. I'm doing a quick review of Insidious 3, The Red Door. And just remember, Mikey, if you end your stream at 19 hours and 59 minutes, you can still do another stream for as long as you want.
Good idea. Yeah, I
And
need to do a live stream one of these days.
Scurvy is singing Return of the Pop. All right, but thank you, everybody, for coming. Hey, you guys have a good night, and remember to be a gorilla.